Oh, it's fun, crazy. It's painful, but it's wonderful. What is the name?
It's Reusse Unchained.
Okay, Pat, you were at Target Field yesterday, so we
Yes.
will get to more Twins fallout on Reusse Unchained here, but we have to talk about Napheesa Collier 4-minute statement absolutely eviscerating the WNBA and the commissioner and the officials. And there's a lot of people have probably already seen clips or quotes, so we don't have to rehash all of them. And if you haven't, go check it out. But she took direct aim at Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. She even highlighted a couple personal examples of she doesn't reach out to injured players.
Private conversations,
Yes.
which are no longer private.
Yeah, think literally that Caitlin Clark should be. This is from Napheesa saying that Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, said Caitlin Clark should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. Never mind the fact that at Iowa she made millions of dollars.
Never mind the fact that it's 180 degrees from that. But anyway, that she came in and made the league, even though she doesn't play, she made it in. It made the league. But okay, so now I'm seeing this. First of all, I was at Target Center. I knew they were having a thing. I mean, I was at Target Field, and I knew they were having a thing over there. But I said, what the hell? You're only going to hear, Vol.
Cheryl Reeve?
Yeah, Cheryl Reeve try to explain why she was such a jackass, and she, no matter what she says, I gotta be me. Well, is me you swearing at the fans as you're exchanging f bombs with the fans? Is that what we want to be here? I know that fans yell a lot of f bombs at people, but I'm not sure you should be screaming back at them. But anyway, so I figured that was going to be it. And then I hear about this Collier thing, and I said, why didn't you go across the street? Unbelievable. It was fantastic. And I'm thinking, this morning I'm trying to write about it, and I'm thinking, you know what? Now, this is a little weird, but you know what I thought of? Mike Marshall. She was the Mike Marshall of, Mike Marshall, fat little guy, green leisure suits, mustache, bald head, but he was Marvin Miller's. He threw the incendiary devices for Marvin Miller as the player. We got a very good-looking Mike Marshall now here at Napheesa Collier, because this was more than a blast of the officials. It was, we're the union and we're not going to, she's vice president of the union. We're the union and we're not going to take it anymore. So, now here's the problem, though. The league is not profitable. So what are they going to do? I mean,
I think starting next year or the year after, their media rights, they signed a $500 million media rights deal that didn't exist before. There's a lot more money coming in, and the valuations of the teams are spiking too. So there's a lot more revenue on the way.
I'm not arguing with her. I mean, you can't be playing for $90,000 or something like that. You have to. But to see her come out and throw this bomb out there was incredible. What's the league going to do about it? I mean,
Well, what's funny is part of her point was whenever we as players or coaches speak out about problems with the game and parts of the game that need to be better for it to grow, the league responds by just fining us, suspending us, and suppressing us. So by doing this, she's essentially inviting, do the same thing. Why don't you fine me and suppress? My favorite quote was, so her husband runs the Unrivaled Basketball League, which is kind of this.
Which is didn't go that well last year, but go ahead,
Yeah, but she said her husband, Unrivaled President Alex Bazell, always messages players when they get hurt and says that she's received similar sentiments from players across the league during her injury-riddled season, just saying, this is what leadership looks like. You send a text to your top player, and she said, do you know who I haven't heard from? Cathy. Not one call, not one. This would be for people that don't follow the WNBA closely or maybe just from afar, it would be kind of like a Tim Duncan 20 years ago lighting
Yeah,
up
right.
David Stern,
Yes,
right?
yeah, yeah. It is, and it's what's interesting is apparently if you liked if you're a player and you liked on Twitter some of the ripping of the officials, they find you for liking the Twitter thing.
Jeez.
Apparently, some of them got fined $500 or something for liking the Twitter. This Kathy, I mean, it was all nonsense last year that somehow the league wanted the Liberty to win. But when the commissioner shows up in a T-shirt or something, she's
Trust.
obviously a moron.
Yeah.
And but this was unbelievable. You got to know they didn't see this coming in the league office, did you? Did they?
But it's
Wow.
genius. It's genius though, because at this rate, they're going to be locked out probably.
Yes.
And if you're Collier, this is a perfect time because she didn't just focus on we got screwed by the officials.
No.
She
No.
focused on the league is crap and the commissioner should be fired, which to me is brilliant
Yes,
because you
but
can
I
get her
think
fired.
I think most people would. It was probably inspired by what they thought was bad officiating, but this was not a diatribe against officiating.
No, it's
This
the
was
Yeah.
league.
it didn't mean anything. It was a diatribe against officiating, but it was the league. It was fantastic. It was unbelievable, and
Mhm.
it's stunning because she's got a toughness about her we don't see. So.
They someone
And by
they're
the way, can I say one more thing?
yeah, yeah.
The idea that Cheryl didn't know what she was going to say is 100% crapola. 100% crapola. She might have helped her write it. Okay. I mean, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
My last thing on this is I saw a video going around because there's all these accusations about the league and the players essentially trying to punk Caitlin Clark for 2 years, or at best not not treating her in the regard and this sort of savior for the league that she has become. And the private conversation that Napheesa shared, where you got the commissioner of the league, according to Napheesa,
Yeah.
saying that Caitlin should be lucky that she's in the WNBA. But then there's also there's a clip going around, a side by side of the Rookie of the Year announcement last year with Caitlin,
Yeah.
and then with Paige getting the Rookie of the Year this year. And this year, Paige is at, I think it was the Jennifer Hudson show, and she's making an appearance, and they're doing this
Yeah.
dancing thing down the hallway, and then Kathy surprises her at the end of the hallway with the trophy, and it was this big thing. It went viral.
Mhm.
And apparently, the way that they announced it to Caitlin was like via speakerphone when the Fever were at practice, and like the coach is holding up an iPhone with the league office on speakerphone for Caitlin.
Yeah. Well, I really think, I think Reeve is like goofy because she's just, she just, I mean, that whole episode Sunday night was awful. But I think she got a bad rap on the whole Caitlyn thing because what she said was to start with, I don't, she didn't think she should be on the Olympic team, and B, the league is more than one player, but she never said that she was anti Caitlin Clark or anything. And all of a sudden, the Caitlin crowd is so crazed that if you don't give her credit for everything, then you are anti Caitlin. And by the way, I discovered her. Okay, so I'm a
That's right.
big Caitlin fan. I discovered you Iowans never heard of her until I went down there when she was a sophomore. But it is if Engelbert actually said that Caitlin Clark should be grateful, then she should be fired on the spot because it's so ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
I
The league
mean,
is also getting to a point now with numbers going up everywhere the last 2 years. It took 25 years, kind of like the
oh
NBA,
yeah,
back at there, you get a certain point 20, 30 years in where, oh, this thing happens and there's a spike and you need someone that can handle the new iteration of the platform. And if it's
yes,
not Kathy, you should move on
yeah.
quickly.
And here's the thing: let's go back to the NBA's formative days. We won all those titles, right? We won six, 8 teams,
Yeah.
8 teams. And the top. One year they made it to the finals after going 25-50 in the playoffs in the regular season because there was a team even more terrible than them in the Western Conference. So yes, I'm not saying that the WNBA will ever be the same, but it is phenomenally more watchable than it ever was, and there's more people interested. There's no doubt. And TV, in the day when they, 10 years ago, where would you find them on TV once a week or some
Yeah,
on
I
a
mean now
noon on
they're
a
on CBS, they're on
noon on a
ESPN.
Sunday? Yeah,
They
they're
just did a deal
everywhere now.
yesterday.
They're everywhere
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
USA Network got a slice of the national games
yes,
yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah, and they're. I think they signed another. Big contract. They've signed a big contract with him to get another game. I'll tell you one thing: us old guys with a lot of TV options are in big trouble where to find stuff. Starting next year, it'll be. We're gonna have to hire. We're gonna have to hire people to come over the house and tell you where to find stuff. It's unbelievable. But yeah, this was it. It was. I wrote a column about what a crazy Tuesday it was because everybody was doing something, right? The Twins were telling us why they fired Rocco across the street at 11 o'clock. The Timberwolves were having their first practice at 11:48. Napheesa was going insane. At 11:58, they were announcing Kaprizov in St. Paul. It was a phenomenal day in Minnesota sports.
Did Derek Falvey clear up all of your questions? Did you get all of your questions answered as to the future of the Twins?
God Almighty! You know who I felt sorry for? Jeremy Zoll. They
That's
brought
what Judd
Jeremy to.
said. Too.
They brought Jeremy to the table. It could have been a mummy. Could have been
A
sitting
mop?
there.
A mop?
And
Just put a mop there with the head
When
with the hair?
I finally asked him a question, I felt sorry for him.
Wow.
I asked him a question after about 25 minutes about, the trend of teams rushing a young player. If you show you can hit in Double A and you're 21 years old, they call you up. They start playing in
Did
big
Falvey
leagues.
take it though? I
No,
got this one,
Falvey
Jeremy.
didn't take it, but Zoll answered it in a very boring fashion. So I gave up on. I gave up on. I gave up on him, but it was a mercy question. It was a mercy question. The poor guy is just. Don't ever bring him out in public. But Falvey he was a little testy too. I asked him about what did you expect when you traded when you traded his five relievers, the only strength the team had. What did you expect to happen the last 2 months? And they're a little testy. He's getting a little testier. I mean, things are bad over there. There's no doubt about it. And everybody's a little on edge, to say the least. And then I think I think Joe makes it a little more complicated because he wants to be involved. I mean, Jim just, send me a note, tell me what's going on, and Joe's got nothing else to do. So,
Yeah, and then you look around and all these previous leaders from a few years ago are got St. Peter.
St.
He's
Pete, yeah.
around as a consultant essentially
Yeah.
internally, but
St. Pete
um,
knew what was going on. He can tell me all about why, yeah, he was, worn out and all that stuff. He got out while the getting was good. He saw what was happening. But
yeah,
here's the thing,
Thad gone
Dad,
10
what
months
do you
ago.
think what do you think the season tickets are going to be down to?
Well, what do we think they are
Six,
now?
7,000. I don't know.
They're
They
below
always
10, right? Because they had a
yeah,
game
but
and they had a game with 10,000 in
yeah,
April.
and they usually announce we have the equivalents of what we got 10,000 equivalent. No announcement
Right.
this year at all.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know. It is fallen through the roof, and of course you would have to explain to me how the hell they got $500 million worth of debt. I can't believe that.
Well,
I don't know
I
how
mean, in
that
these
happened.
Star Tribune pieces that Joe and now Tom Polad, there's a new
Yes.
Polad speaking here,
Yeah. Yes.
but they essentially said that, and this is, I mean, we had a conversation 2 months ago on the SKOR Twin Show. Say, hey, if you want to start to push back at the cheap Polad's narrative, Tell them that you went $500 million into debt to try and put a team on the field and a stadium and stuff. But that's
But
basically what they said, Pat. Is we've
so
taken a bath on the stadium upgrades and on fielding a team that has a payroll of $140 million.
But it seems like they always just went to the bank instead of paying. That original 110 million out of the 140 out of the 440, which turned it out to be more. I think they made it I think originally to get in there they spent 150. Well, they didn't pay 150. They went to the bank and loaned it and took it as a loan. And this is what rich guys do, I guess. They go to the bank. They don't actually pay. So I don't. I
Right.
just assumed they'd write out a check for 150 when they got in there, but they don't do that. So I don't know, but it's it's weird to say the least.
Yeah.
What's your best guess about who's going to replace Rocco? Who do you want to see?
Oh God, I don't know who I want to see. It's I could take Shelton, but I don't think he'll create much excitement for the team. So I think they're going to go some young guys someplace. But my pick was Mike Napoli a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because he's a catcher and he's 43. He's got a big personality and he's working for Francona. And Falvey and Francona are like that. But that was just a wild throw dart guess. I don't know. But I look at Stephen Voigt and what he's doing in Cleveland, and I say maybe that's the way they'll go. Find a young catcher.
Doogie, might as well bring this up here. Doogie brought this up on the Twin Show today. Let's say the Red Sox win one more against the Yankees, and the Yankees finally fire Aaron Boone, and he wants to get. Would you hire an Aaron Boone?
Yes, I would, but he's not going to come back here. He's not going to. Do you think he wants it that bad? He knows he can go back on TV and be do all the TV he wants to. I wouldn't think he'd want to come here, but maybe it's in his blood too. I'd take him in a heartbeat. I like him a lot. So
Yeah, me too.
He's
a Boone guy.
he's. I'm still. I'm still upset he hit that home run against the Red Sox that day, I'd take him. I don't. What do you? I think they're going to go low cost though, don't you? On a manager,
Probably because they're paying one more year of Rocco, right?
Yeah.
So.
Why wouldn't you think that at this point?
I did. I was able to exchange text with Rocco, and he's doing okay. He's he's got he's got a year to get paid, and by the time he's done babysitting for a year, he'll be ready to get back into the game, don't you think?
Yeah.
A guy who didn't become a father till late 30s, and probably used to a lot of quiet evenings, and now he's got three of them running around. He might be ready to get back. What do you think? Will he be a big league manager again?
His resume is enough, and he's young enough where I think if he wanted one, he would definitely get interviews. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, definitely.
You know who I'd take if he wants to get out of there? Kevin Cash.
Okay.
Maybe Tampa's ready to stop paying him, and maybe he'd like to come up here and start all over again and make a little trade. Maybe
there's 8 jobs right now. There's 8
it's
openings,
unbelievable,
including the Twins. So
because who'd we just lose yesterday? Somebody else got
Ron Washington.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Wash. They said they weren't bringing. Everybody knew they weren't bringing Wash back.
And then Snicker announced today that he's not going back to the Braves. So that's really? 8. Yeah, the Braves, which would be a really good job. They've got an opening.
Yes, so he's going to quit, or is he just the Braves fired him?
No, he's going to go into a very Twins-like advisory role. I guess he's been with the organization since 78.
Oh yeah.
So
that
he
was
just decided
who won the award this year for the most underachieving team, Orioles or Braves? They tied, I would say, because I'd take that young Orioles roster in a heartbeat, but their pitching wasn't good enough. And the Braves, how the hell that happened, I don't know. So I don't know what they're up to. You know what? I don't think they know what they're up to. I think it's really chaotic over there right now. And Derek was when he came in here in 2016 and with Levine, they pretty much could do anything they wanted to, don't you think? I mean,
Yeah.
and with Jim running it, now all of a sudden you have young guys trying to figure out the third generation. Be afraid of the third generation. People always tell me so.
Yeah. It's chaotic is a good word. It all feels very chaotic right now.
I
Yes.
You've
can't
got
keep track of them. Like there's so many now, Pat. There's Pete and Timmy and Joe and
Well,
Larry
there's
and
we
Curly
got
and Mo.
we got these are Bobby's kids, right? I don't know how many Jim.
Yeah,
I don't know how many Jim has, but these are Bobby's kids, I think.
the
And
three
Bobby
sons.
was
Yeah.
always, this is way out of school talking, but they always said Bobby was the smart one of the of the three brothers. So, but he was out running the PepsiCo thing out in Seattle and was worth
Right.
incredible amounts of money. So, so he let Jim run the ball club, but. I don't know. They got it's wouldn't have this been a nice fall to have baseball games and
Oh,
Humvees
oh
played
man.
here? My
Yeah.
don't
God, it's
even.
been the greatest fall of all
80
time.
it'd be 85 degrees all weekend just
Yeah,
playing the Red Sox or whatever the hell at Target
that's
Field.
yes. So you guys fired up for that Ohio State upset Saturday night or
That's
not?
right. Yeah. I told Judd they're going to be leading in the second half.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
21
Oh,
point underdogs.
Ohio State can screw around, when they think they're going to win. They're not. I would take the 21. I'd take the 21 if I
Yeah.
still
They
gambled.
can play with their food a little bit.
Yep.
It's a classic
The
trap game
quarterback,
for
the
Ohio State.
quarterback's good. He stumbled into it. This quarterback, he's okay.
Yeah.
A lot of the rest of it isn't that good, but he's okay.
It was kind
And
of one of the rare Gopher games where against Rutgers they threw for like 330 yards and only ran for like 40 yards.
Could run.
well, with Darius hurt all the time, it's is he. Darius, I got news for Darius. He's not going to get drafted very high if he can't stay on the field there at all. So
It's got to
anyway.
get the soft tissues figured out.
Meanwhile, over there in London, something's going on, but we don't know what the hell it is. So,
Hopefully they can find another offensive lineman over there somewhere
yes, right.
because
You don't want to
I,
know.
it's
I love the
bad.
people ripping Quasi for not having enough backup offensive linemen. What the hell? They just spent a ton of money on three of them. Plus, they got the two tackles who are costing them a fortune. What do you expect? When they start getting hurt, it's
Yeah.
they're on the trend to have one of those injury ravaged years like they had 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then you don't win games. But
Mhm.
if you got your team, you win games. So
Yeah.
one more week of Wentz, and then we're back to JJ. Huh?
It looks like we'll see if JJ can kind of dip his toes back into practice limited this week, then maybe we get there for
You got
that
the
Philly
bye.
game.
Yeah, you got the bye week.
Yeah, and
We'll see.
Wentz is Wentz. If Wentz plays like he has so far, it'll be easier to go back to
Yeah.
McCarthy because he hasn't been. He's been okay, but nothing. And last
Yeah.
week he wasn't okay. So
Yep.
anyway.
All right,
Anyway,
Pat.
what
Well,
a Tuesday in Minnesota. It was fantastic.
a lot happening. Yeah. We'll see what else happens in the next couple days, and we'll
But
talk to you again on
but
Friday.
how often can you have everybody in town doing something and everybody's talking about Napheesa? That's
I know
incredible.
that's amazing, man.
It
Just
is.
savage. There was one more part of the quote where she basically said like if I didn't have an idea about how leagues operate, then
Oh
maybe
yeah,
I wouldn't
right.
have this opinion. But unfortunately for them, I do.
I bet deep in their hearts they did not like Unrivaled starting up, right? Because they took some money out of the market. They
Yeah.
got big sponsorships, so that probably started the rivalry right there.
Yeah.
And that league could use Caitlin Clark. So the more that she
Yes.
does to suck up to Caitlin Clark,
Oh,
because
that's right.
they
That's
they
right.
got Paige.
Yes.
Paige is now going to play,
Paige
but
is going it.
Clay,
Caitlin hadn't decided yet. What if
she
Kate? Yep.
she declined to play in the league last year,
Yeah, I know.
and she's the domino to fall for them.
But she didn't play last year because she walked right out of the Iowa
Yeah.
Final Four into the league, and she had to
Yep.
be zapped, right? So
Huh.
this year she probably wants to go play because she needs to play because she's been hurt all the time. So, well,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can call and ask her because she and I are tight. Except except when I stepped on her cell phone. I
Yeah, her
think
phone
that
doesn't
kind
work
of
anymore
that,
because of
that
you, but
ruined
that's fine.
that ruined our relationship when my 700-pound body stepped on her cell phone. So, all right, see you
All right,
later.
Pat, we'll see you
Yeah.
on Friday.
Bye.
Reusse Unchained.